So really quick, I just want to come to you and share the process a little bit. So as a fashion designer, I always recommend you guys to have a tape measure because everybody's a different size. Don't I won't be providing measurements for every single person who's going to watch this video, but I want to give you a tool to be able to do it like for yourself individually. So you take a tape measure and you wrap it around here, your waist or your hips. Now my hip to waist ratio is not that much of a difference. I know these days sometimes women, their waist is this small and then their hips are this small. This tutorial won't really teach you about how to do that, but if they are rather similar, this should work. So wrapping it around, and I'm at about a 40. So initially I'm going to take my crochet hook and I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to chain, slip knot first, and then chain as many chains as I need to reach 40 inches. And you also want to take into account the stretch, and then you want to slip stitch from that last stitch that you're in until the very first one. So here you can see I'm doing exactly what I just explained to you, taking a slip knot, and in the beginning I'm using a pink 5.5 boy ergonomic millimeter hook in regular 4 medium worsted yarn, and I am going to chain as many as it takes to get to the amount of inches that I am working with. And another easy way to do this is to, whether you're in the UK or the US or whatever, you can, the pant size, so you can ask someone what's their pant size, and then you can type in US pant size to inches, and that should also help you. So now I'm just double checking along my tape measure to be sure that this entire chain will be able to fit over the hips and up onto the waist. So then I'm going to ensure that that super long chain is not raveled in any way, so that I can start working in a round. So that's what I'm doing here, just straightening it out. Now I'm going to take my hook and insert it into the very first chain, and I'm going to chain one, and then I'm going to half double crochet all the way around. So once I've done that a few times, I think I did it between 3 and 5 times, I am going to finish off a few more half double crochets, and then once I finish all of them, I am going to slip stitch the end of my last chain to the very first chain, and then we are going to start the actual pattern. So here you can see I'm just going to pull that yarn through and pull it tight, and now we are going to start the pattern that you have seen. So I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to skip 3, and then I'm going to double crochet 2 times in the very next working space. 2 double crochets in 1 chain or 1 working space. So I'm starting off at the very last row, and as you can see, I have done multiple rows. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to start off with the very next row, which is going to be our last row before we end off this section and proceed to do each pants leg. So I chain 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do a double crochet into the stitch right beside it. So I'm going to go in here with a double crochet, and then I'm just going to proceed with a 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do 2 double crochets into this stitch. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, wrap my yarn around the hook, put my hook through the working space, wrap my yarn around and pull through. So I have 1, 2, 3, wrap my yarn around and pull through 2, wrap my yarn around and pull through the final 2. That is a double crochet, and then I'm just going to complete this all the way around. Now for this particular set of pants, it shouldn't be too high-waisted, but also, as I always say, I always stress, I always tell you guys, if you watch my channel, everybody is different. I know some people with some long butts. I know some people who don't have no butt. So it just depends on the individual. Everybody's body is shaped differently. But I'm going to tell you how many rows I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So hopefully it's probably somewhere between 15 and 20. But for this set of pants and for this customer, I'm going with 17 rows before I start my pants legs. So once I finish this row, I will come back and I will show you guys how to do that, and I found that it is very simple. So stay tuned. See you in a bit. See you in a bit. See you in a bit. Okay, so I finished the row, and now I'm just going to end it off with a slip stitch here, right in here. Really simple. So now, depending on how many or how big your customer's waist is, you basically just want to right down the middle. You want to attach these. So if you have, 10 on this side and 10 on that side, then you just want to find where that is. So let's count. So this is the middle and this might be the middle, but we're going to double check here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow. 13, 14, 15. So that's definitely all the way off. So move my stitch marker over a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Perfect. So we have 13 on each side. So I'm just going to take my hook, and right where my finger is, right smack dab in what we have found to be the middle, I'm going to insert my hook, and I am going to slip stitch. So that's just wrapping your yarn around and pulling through, and then you want to tighten. And that will make it so you have, that'll just create the section between the left and the right. So now you can choose whether you want to work in the right leg or the left leg. So I'm gonna chain 3, and then I'm going to go into this stitch here with 2 double crochets, and you want to be sure that you are keeping track of how many you do in each leg, because even though it won't be too much of a difference, you still don't, like if I had done 10 on this side and 13 on that side, like it would have been a noticeable difference. So you just want to make sure that you are keeping track of your pattern. So you did 2 double crochet here. When we get on this side, you want to make sure you do the exact same thing, and I'll show you guys a little bit. So now I'm just going to continue along down this side of the leg. So I will do, I have to see how tall she is honestly, but I'm going to do 15 more rows, and then I will meet you guys further towards the bottom, because that's when we're going to start our increase. So all the way around, I'm just going to be doing chain 3, 2 double crochets into the same loop, chain 3, 2 double crochets into the same loop, making sure you're skipping these 3, but it's basically just the same thing. Should be really easy peasy. But I'm going to finish my rows all the way down, and then I'll see you guys. We are going into the opposite leg now. So this is what you should have, something like this. Well, actually, maybe you shouldn't, because I'm just showing you how to complete this leg, or what I'm going to do. But remember, at the end, we just started off here at this little intersection with a slip knot, and then I completed my 2 double crochets here at the beginning, because I said we didn't want to forget that. So this is what I'm going to do. Slip stitch here, and we're gonna, that tail end is gonna be tucked and snipped eventually, but I'm just gonna do another slip stitch just for safe measure. I'm going to chain 1, 2, and then I'm going to double crochet, and now I'm just going to proceed. So remember, at the beginning we are chaining 3 and then doing our double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to double crochet into the next double crochet space. So 1, 2, 3, and then double crochet here. Now remember, you should have a tape measure, so you can split your increasing sections into 3 if you would like. But I'm going to tell you all, I think I might have mentioned it before, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 rows of the pattern that we've been working. So 3 double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3. I have 17 rows of that. My customer is only about 5'4", so this works for her leg length. But if you need to go longer, then you can go longer. And essentially what I'm going to tell you to do is do your 3, and then we have a stitch marker here. I just use the bobby pin. And then our pattern is going to change from 3 to 4. So we're going to chain 4 and then double crochet, chain 4 and then double crochet. And then I have another stitch marker here, and I chain 5, double crochet, chain 5, double crochet. And then after my last stitch marker, you can imagine what I did, 6 double crochet, chain 6, double crochet. So that is essentially the pattern of increasing, but you will have to decide for your particular customer, and I'll tell you what I'm doing for this one because it'll probably work for anybody within that range, like 5'2" to 5'5". But anything above that, you can just add a few more rows, 5 to 6 more rows, and it should be far enough down the leg to still look like a bell bottom. So I chain 3 and a double crochet, and I'm going to complete this row plus 16 more to match the other side of my pants leg, so I can have 17 rows of the pattern that we've been working, which is the 3 chains. So I'll see you guys once I finish that. So this is the top of the pants, and then you can see how this pant leg is over my computer, and then I just want to show you, I'm going to count the rows here. So this is the row right before, let's just call this the crotch because that's what it is, the crotch. And then this is our first row that we did. So I'm counting based on these chains of 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I'm going to continue along and show you guys how to get to, show you guys how I'm doing my increasing. My camera would just stay still. Okay, so now I'm going to do chain 1, 2, and then I'm going to double crochet here. Now I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm still going to go into that same working space with my 2 double crochet. So a closer look. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and proceed with my 2 double crochet. And then from a different angle, I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll do my 2 double crochet into that next working space. And then obviously this is more than what we've done in the past. We've only done 3, so this is going to cause the pants to flare out a little bit. So I have, on the other side of my pants, I have 1, 2, 4. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of 4. So I'm going to do this for 6 more rows, and then I will meet you guys at the end. Okay guys, so I have finished my 7 rows of chain 4, then double crochet 2, chain 4, then double crochet 2. So I put a little stitch marker here, and now I'm just going to continue along, and we're going to be doing 5 now. So I'm going to show you really quickly. Zoom in a little. So I'm gonna chain 2, and that will suffice for a double crochet, so this will count as 2 double crochets in the very beginning. Now I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to work into our working space. So the previous row of 2 double crochets, I'm going to do 2 double crochets right above that. And now let's do it again. So I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to skip these 5 and double crochet 2 into this working space. And then I'm going to do this for 7 rows, so 6 more rows after this row that we just started, and then I'll meet you guys there. And then after this few, or these 7 rows, then we'll only have a few more rows to go after that, and we'll be done. Okay, and we have completed our rows of chaining 5. So now for the remainder of the rows, I'm going to be doing chaining 6. So again, it's pretty much the exact same as what we've been doing. We're going to start our beginning with our chain 2 and then a double crochet, and this will be our, what would normally be our 2 double crochets. So we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chains, and then 2 double crochets into the very next working space, or the very next opportunity where the double crochet are from the previous round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this is really just going to set that flare off and also end it off. This is as wide as my flare is going to go, but of course if you want your flare to be more pronounced or less pronounced, then you can stop at 5 and continue all the way down with 5, or you can go all the way up to 8 or 10, just depending on your personal preference. And then again, with that tape measure, you just want to measure your leg, because yours could totally be longer than mine or my clients. So I said that to say I am doing 50 rows all the way down. I think it's actually 51. But if you are taller than that, I would recommend adding more, unless of course you want your bell bottoms to be a little bit high. It just all depends on your personal preference. But I'm going to continue along with this until I reach the bottom, and then I will see you guys at the try on. Make a belt. So I chained 180 or something like that, between 150 and 180. Now I'm just gonna use my hook to weave. So in, out, in, out, in, out, and I'm just gonna pull this little belt through, because I hate a saggy crotch. It's not cute at all. And then I'm just going to do this all the way around. And that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. As always, more information is down in the description box, and also so is the link to purchase my luxury yarn. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section and I'll get back to you. Follow me on Instagram at kbiffcrochet for more. Subscribe to my channel. Stay a while. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.